All right. Hello. I'm mostly recovered. How are you guys? I've come back to life. I was mostly dead, I think, by the end of Dead Island. But I'm fine. I'm okay. It was essentially what I did was I woke up on Friday morning. I streamed for 21 hours, and then I kind of half stayed awake the rest of the day, and then I slept for about 13 hours, and now I'm fine. See that? I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm alright. How are you guys? I have a cold again. Ah, shit, man. Yeah, I'm kind of on off colds all winter normally. They're normally not too bad, you know. I'm okay right now, but I've been like sniffly today. But nice short one today. Nice chilled short one today. If you guys don't know much about Ghibli, it's if Disney was Japanese, essentially. That's pretty much it. And Hayao Miyazaki is basically the Japanese Walt Disney. He's as close as they have, yeah. He is an incredible animator. And this is kind of a strange list here. I didn't make this tier list. I normally make the templates myself for the streams, but this one I didn't. Because it's pretty much what I expected, what I would think of as Ghibli movies. I would kind of maybe not include this first one here. This is the Castle of I can never pronounce it, Cagliostro, and that's the first film that Miyazaki ever did. And then he kind of founded Ghibli, and really, I would normally think of Nausicaa as the first Ghibli film, but it's fine. It's kind of everyone considers it something different. Technically, Castle in the Sky is the first Ghibli film. Nausicaa doesn't even really count, but it came out like the year before, and that was kind of the beginning. Just curious if I missed a Minecraft stream. No, I don't think so. No, I was going to do it over the weekend, but I was just exhausted. I'm probably doing it tomorrow. I'll probably play Minecraft tomorrow. Gotta get this Christmas Wonderland rolling, and I am still not very far along. No, I think you were there for the last one. That was the only one. A quick one tonight. It will be fairly quick, yeah. Which is not the worst thing in the world. I'm still kind of recovering from Dead Island. It was a lot, but I'm delighted because I've been wanting to do this one for a while because we did so much about like Disney and Pixar and even DreamWorks films, and we've never just done a Ghibli tier list. And I love Ghibli. I really not all of these, almost all of these came onto Netflix during like the initial quarantine, that kind of time. And I sat with my brother and I watched all of these, and it was great. I really fell in love with Ghibli. And I've watched some of them again, even just since then, in the last year or so, because they are real. There's a few of these now I would count as kind of on the like edge of like my top 10 animated films. Really got a lot more into anime and stuff like that, which I wasn't into that much before quarantine because of these films, really. So this is great. However, they're not all great. There is... I didn't even put in an E here because there's really not enough entries to worry about it, but an F, yes, I think I have an F. Now, as much as I love pretty much... I really enjoy, at least, most things that Ghibli have done. But in 1993, they made their one and only, so far I think, TV film. And a lot of people that have seen Ghibli films and know Ghibli films wouldn't even know this one very well, because I don't think it is on Netflix. There's a couple that are missing, and I don't think it's on. And it's really awful, and it's called Ocean Waves, and I hate it. It's about this high school. A lot of the most famous Ghibli ones are associated with kind of being more fantasy-based, but there are quite a few on this list that are quite realistic stories and tales, even a biopic. Ocean Waves is just set in this normal world in this Japanese high school, and there's this girl who's awful. She's terrible. I hate her. And this guy who's a little bitch. He's terrible, and I hate him. Yeah, it's a real shame. But, well, you do what you... Yeah, it's just one that I kind of thought, oh, well, that's technically a Ghibli film as well, even though it's just a TV film. I want to see that, and then I did, and then I regretted it. Oh, I regretted it. Did not enjoy it. And I do find it's interesting, because it's like similarly to people would be like with Disney or DreamWorks or anything, everybody's got their own favourite Ghibli film. Everyone's got their own real list of opinions on it, so it's quite interesting to see. For me, I don't really like Pom Poko. Now, Pom Poko's it's a strange film. It is. It's got some very interesting environmental messages in there, but it's about these creatures that have all this magic, and there's no nice way to say this. They have giant ball sacks. Seriously, this is the plot of a kids film. And their area that they live in is getting cut down, and people are building on it, and then they slowly become humans, and it's a really weird film. Normally I like Ghibli when it gets weird, but that one, I don't know. I was not on board. I understood what messages they were trying to do, but I feel like there's a much better way to send environmental messages, you know? I haven't finished any of these. Oh, really? Do you not like them, or have you just not gotten much chance to sit and watch them? I really like a lot of them, but we're kind of starting with the ones that maybe I don't so much, yeah. Ocean Waves, definitely very, very bad. Garbage film, hate it, really bad. Pom Poko, I don't really hate, but I am not eager to watch that one again. It's not one that I feel like maybe I just didn't get it, and I'd get it if I watched it again. Which there are a couple of on here that I feel like I'll like more the second time around, but not that one so much. No. I started Spirited Away and Princess Kaguya. That's another one we could talk about. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya it's also not one. When Ghibli gets hand-drawn, both that and My Neighbors the Yamadas are when Ghibli does like more hand-drawn, very out-there styles of animation, and in neither case did I really get on board with it. The Tale of Princess Kaguya is more of a... It's not that funny or anything. My Neighbors the Yamadas is basically... It's drawn like it's a cartoon strip from a newspaper. And I thought that was very interesting. I didn't feel like it had any substance or there was anything really to it. Yeah. So in both cases, I'm kind of hovering a bit. I think I might drop the Yamadas to a D. I don't hate it, but I don't feel like watching that back again. I'm really going to enjoy it anymore. Don't feel eager to watch it back again. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, I also wasn't like hugely on board with, but I did kind of think like, okay, but there's a lot of nice stuff to this. I do get the messages. I do enjoy a lot of stuff about it, so maybe that's more of a C. I still don't know if I'm ever really going to love it, but it is one that I like. I think I enjoy it a fair amount, you know? What's a B? What is a B? It's really, it's kind of like real love or hate for me with Ghibli. Well, not hate. Like, I don't hate this, but like, there are a few that I'm not on board with, and then there's a lot that I am on board with. I'm trying to lower my expectation, really make sure I'm not sending too many things into the S's. That's what we did last week. And that's one of the few times we've done that, where I've really just piled a lot of entries into the S tier, but I mean, it was Disney songs, come on, you know? Might happen again today to some degree. Oh, you know what? I'll go for the very first one. Are you going to play more Minecraft this week? I am. I'll be on... I'm not sure every day I'll be on. I'll definitely be on tomorrow. This time? I don't know, it might be a little later in the evening than this, but I'll definitely be on. Not Ariadne, eh? Oh, Ariadne's a good one. Yeah, Ariadne's interesting because generally when they take stories, they're a lot of the time they are Japanese stories, but a lot of the time they're just from various places. I think Ariadne is the only one that is actually a British story that they made into a film. But it's interesting. I think to get a B down, I will go The Castle of Cagliostro. I always struggle to say that. I think that's right, Cagliostro. That was it's from 1979. I think the next one on the list, Nausicaa, is from like 84. And there is a jump in animation, like 79. It does age, the animation. It's in quite a delightful style. I do enjoy the animation of it, but it does age. It's like Toy Story, you know? You watch back the first Toy Story today, that ages a shocking amount more than like A Bug's Life, you know? And it's just because they had more money behind them. Like, Ghibli wasn't a thing when Cagliostro was made. It was kind of getting to be a thing by the time Nausicaa was made. It wasn't officially a thing until Castle in the Sky, but kind of all... Some people count only from Castle in the Sky as Ghibli works. I kind of think, well, the ones that... Oh, sorry. The ones that Miyazaki did before then, they kind of should count, right? So yeah, I'll definitely be on Minecraft tomorrow. Gotta get through more of that. It's almost December, and we are nowhere near having a Winter Wonderland built. Oh no. But I will try and finish that whole thing that I'm doing there by Christmas. And then we'll probably keep playing Minecraft after Christmas, just figure out something else to do. I didn't like Ponyo. Ponyo's... I do feel like that's one that people love or hate. Yeah. I don't know. I don't love it, but I do enjoy it. Oh wait, I'll put down an A and an S so that we know where we are. Now I gotta say, A. You know what? I'm gonna put Spirited Away on A. I don't know. I feel like I watched them in order. Okay, I'd never watched pretty much any Ghibli films, and then last year this is all very recent for me. Last year I sat down and I watched them when they came onto Netflix, all in order, chronologically, and Spirited Away is kind of in the middle. Chronologically. So by the time I got to it, I'd already seen a lot of the other, like, really amazing Ghibli films. And I think my expectations were just really high. They were just really high by the time I got to it, because it was the one that you hear about in normal conversation in the West. Is everyone's like, oh, Spirited Away is so good, yeah. And I'd already seen things that I came to truly, truly love. A lot of these pre-2000 ones. So by the time I got to it, I had like super high expectations, thinking, oh, if I liked those that much, Spirited Away must be crazy. And it was just on a similar level to a lot of them. So I feel like with more normal expectations when I go back to watch it a second time, which I'd like to do soon, I feel like maybe I'll enjoy it more. I did really love it. I did think it's really great, but it's not quite in like my top, like, even 5. It's maybe hovering around the edge of like my top 5 for Ghibli. It is very good, but I don't think it's maybe quite an S, you know? Now let's see. What is an S? Totoro. Totoro's an S. I love Totoro. It was such a unique experience for me, because like when I started, I saw Cagliostro, I saw Nausicaa, I saw Castle in the Sky, and I was thinking, okay, so Ghibli is really into these big, like, fantasy, epic animated films. Okay, that's cool. And then I saw Grave of the Fireflies, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's quite a change of pace, set during World War II. Very realistic, very dark film. And then, with this kind of, like, confusion about what Ghibli was really into, I then saw Totoro, and it's just such a small-scale film, in the weirdest way. There's nothing happening in one way. I've heard some people say they don't really love it because of that, because, there's not really much going on. But I just love the style, I love the characters, and it's just such a gentle, like, stick it on and just be happy film for me already. I've already watched it, like, a couple more times since I initially watched all of them through. I loved it so much. So, yeah, for me, definitely S tier. Maybe my favorite? Totoro might be my favorite. It's right up there. I do really enjoy it a lot. I think it's so much fun. Can't recommend it enough. And it is just on Netflix if you guys are looking. Definitely have a look at that. What else? Let's see. Okay. I do think they leveled out a bit. You know, after what point? After, like, Spirited Away, I felt like Ghibli, they leveled out a bit. They did more realistic films. They weren't set in grand sweeping fantasy worlds after about Earthsea. And I've got a weird mixture of feelings about them. If you look at When Marnie Was There, their most recent one, until they've got, like, that was like 2014, and then they took a break, and now they're bringing out a new one, which I think has come out and hasn't got great reception. Earwig and the Witch. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's come out anywhere really here yet. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. But this was the last one they did. It was an interesting film, a sober film, very much so. Strange. It had a strange style about it. But I did enjoy it. I did like it. Maybe like a C. It's slightly harsh to go C, but it'd be slightly kind to go B, maybe. That kind of situation. I do enjoy it. I do think it's a nice film. I don't know, I might like it more when I watch it back again, but it's not one that I'm really, like, leaping to. But I did enjoy it. The Wind Rises is strange. It's strange to see a biopic, a proper biopic, in animated form. It's weird. It's about a Japanese plane designer during World War II, and it's quite a nice film. It's kind of sad and sober in moments, but it's a nice film. But it was strange to see a biopic done in animated form. I did like it. I think I might go a B on that. I did like it. I thought it was a nice film. I liked the characters. I thought it was fun and interesting to see. But, I don't know, generally with biopics, like, you know, if I was ranking like a whole bunch of different types of films here, biopics would generally not get like much higher than like a B. It's got to be a really good one, right? I don't know. I feel like you've got to strike the balance between being a film and telling someone's story. You don't want to go too far either direction, but, I don't know how much of that one was true, actually. But it was a lot of fun. Ariadne I do like. Ariadne is a fun film. It's another quite strange one. Surprise Spirited Away isn't higher. Yeah, I kind of said, like, it's... I just went in with too high expectations. I watched them all chronologically. I'd already seen things like Totoro, which I love to pieces. And because of what people had said about Spirited Away, and I'd heard over the years, I thought, oh gosh, am I gonna... I'm expecting to love this even more than like Totoro and some of the others. And I didn't. And I thought, oh, crap. I went in with too high expectations. Yeah, went in with crazy high expectations. I do really like Spirited Away. I think I might like it more next time I watch it. I love this channel. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Me too. Yeah. That's my one advice about content creation. Not that anybody asked. Just be your biggest fan. If you're not, that's not good. Right. Yeah, Spirited Away is very good. What else goes on in A tier? Good question. You know what? I'll put Nausicaa on an A tier. I really like that was my first exposure to Ghibli, and I loved the art style. I thought it hadn't aged surprising amount. That Nausicaa's animation still feels relevant. It's from 84, 83. So I was really surprised about that. I love the characters. I love the story. It felt grand and sweeping and epic in an amazing way. It might move up for me. It might be an S tier. It's difficult to tell because that was my first one I watched. It's hard to tell. It's hard to compare everything else that I later saw to that. You gotta go back and watch this at some stage. Your notifications need work. I don't control those. Have you like clicked the bell? If you click the bell on the channel next to the subscribe button, you can like set it to all, and then you should get everything. But YouTube with streaming, they still got some issues to fix, you know. Welcome, Adam. How's it going? I know you've been looking forward to this one. So yeah, I was just saying, Nausicaa. It is difficult to compare to what came after it because that was the first one I saw, and I haven't seen it again since. But I did really like a lot about that. I loved Castle in the Sky as well. They started off so strongly for me. They did Nausicaa, then Castle in the Sky, then they did Grave of the Fireflies, then Totoro. Then was it Kiki? Oh my gosh, that's such an incredible start. Honestly, that is mad. I think... Oh, I'm tempted. Wait, you know what? I'm definitely putting Kiki on S. I love Kiki's Delivery Service. If you haven't seen it, again, it's a very gentle film. I think that's almost when Ghibli's at its best for me, is when they're just doing these gentle kind of... It almost feels like a slice of life about an unusual situation films. And a lot of people wouldn't like that. A lot of people are so used to like the Disney style of go on this adventure, very much Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 kind of stories that are so set in place. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not bagging on Disney at all when I talk about what I love about Ghibli. It's just a different style, and there are some things about it I really love. And Kiki, it's literally, she's a young witch. Young witches are meant to go off and like find their own thing, do their own thing when they're quite young. She moves to a city. She gets a job and lodgings in this bakery, and it's just Ah, it's such a lovely film, and the animation, like you do not see many things animated in this style, in this bright, colorful style. It's quite similar for Totoro and Kiki. Those films they're beautiful, and they're sunny, and they're happy, and they're just feel good ones that I could watch literally any time. And that's kind of why they float to like the very top of ones I love. I think, it is hard. It is tricky, isn't it? Earwig and the Witch is on Netflix? No way! Has it come on Netflix here? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm gonna watch that maybe tonight. I'm setting myself up for disappointment because I've heard a lot of not great things about it, but we'll see. We'll see. That'll be very interesting. Actually, I've been waiting to be able to get a look at that. Thank you for that. I did not know. Only Yesterday is a strange film. Again, very sober. Very sober film. It's not fun. It's about a woman that goes out to the countryside, and she's just a bit quirky, but not in the normal way that you'd think of as quirky today. She's like 90s quirky. It's different. I don't know. It's a film that as I go further and further from having watched it, I feel like it was trying to be too smart. You know, sometimes Ghibli they do that. They're trying to be like too smart or too scary or, just too like terrifyingly upsetting to be like a kid's film. And Only Yesterday, it doesn't feel like a kid's film at all. It does not feel like something kids would sit down and be like, oh yeah, that's the one I want to watch 10 times today. Because it's very grown up. It's in a strange way. Which, don't get me wrong, could be totally fine. But felt strange, yeah. It's like a C. It's like a C. I don't dislike it. But again, I think C and lower is the ones that I'm not like rushing to watch again, Things on B that I would definitely watch again. S and A. Oh, gotcha. I've already watched things like Totoro and Kiki again since my initial watch through last year. What else? Mononoke is one that a lot of people get real riled up over, get really excited about. And I do feel like, if you compare it to things like Pompoko, they do a much better environmental message, for me, I think, in that one. The art is very graphic at times. Again, it feels like quite an adult film. It does not feel like a film that was primarily even aimed at kids, which is fine. But it caught me off guard, and I went, wow. And it does feel quite epic. But I don't know, maybe it's just that I don't think Ghibli's at its best when it's being that into like the epic sobering style or something. But for me, it was very good. You can't deny that. It's very good. But it's maybe like a B. Yeah. The art style, when it's at the more kind of, maybe the more cutesy level, that's maybe what I appreciate more. I don't know. I didn't think about that. But yeah, the very sobering, dramatic art in Princess Mononoke kind of threw me for a loop. And I liked it a lot. I'd watch it again. But wouldn't get as excited about it as for some other ones. Yeah. Let's see. Tales from Earthsea. I think there's a lot of people that bag on Tales from Earthsea. I'm not going to bag on it, particularly. I enjoy it. I think it was fine. It, again, had that kind of fantasy, dramatic style to it, to the art, and to everything about it. And it was a little bit of a mess at times. True. I'd probably go like a C. I think I would watch it again, but I'm not going to be rushing to again. Yeah. I'd be interested to read the books. They seem interesting, but the film kind of, I don't know, it was a little bit all over the place. And that was, again, I think that was Miyazaki's son maybe directed or wrote that one. And he directed, I think, Earwig and the Witch, which I'm going to watch maybe later today, apparently, since it's on Netflix, and I'm not hopeful. It's not been hearing good things, so. I don't want to stick like a me and Ghibli film down here, you know? Sticking the TV one that's awful down there, absolutely, but it's going to upset me. It's going to upset me if I don't like Earwig and the Witch even as much as Pompoko or My Neighbors the Yamadas. Hey, away. Castle in the Sky is very good. I think in terms of like the big fantasy ones, I maybe prefer Castle in the Sky to Nausicaa. It's pretty tight for me, honestly. I like a lot about both. Castle in the Sky went for more of the kind of cutesy, adorable, fun type of animation, you know? But I do like the animation of Nausicaa as well. Maybe just put them both on A. Yeah, I might. Yeah, I think I might leave them both there. I do really like both. Those were like the first two, really. Well, it depends. Some people don't count Nausicaa, some people don't count Cagliostro, but like, yeah, I really like both of them a lot. It's hard to differentiate. They are very different films. Nausicaa's a lot less comedy to it. And obviously, Nausicaa has more of an environmental kind of message again to it than Castle in the Sky would, but both are very good. Very good. There's a couple of difficult ones here for me that I do think, as I grow further and further from having watched them for the first time, I go, actually, I really liked that one. Whisper of the Heart is one of them. Whisper of the Heart I really liked, actually. And at the time, I was going through so many in a row that it just kind of fell into the crowd for me. But as I think about it more and more, I think I really enjoyed, like, a lot about that. It was quirky, it was fun. Hey, Mike, how's it going, man? It was really just, it had so much, again, of the cutesy style, the adorable, colourful, sunny animation to it. I really liked. And it was it almost seemed like an ordinary story, and then wasn't so much, but it's probably not an S for me. But it is, I think it is an A. I really liked that one. I'd like to watch that again and kind of check, you know? There's a couple here that I've only watched once and I need to see again to really go, do I really love it or do I love it? There's a big difference. There's a big difference between the S and the A. Grave of the Fireflies is... Grave of the Fireflies is hard to mark. Grave of the Fireflies is a very well-made film. It's hard to deny that. It's a very well-made film. It's very... Think of like how much you were traumatized by Mufasa's death in The Lion King, and then times it by like 30, and then you'll begin to understand the pain that you feel your first time watching Grave of the Fireflies. There is nothing, I don't think, in animated form that has quite traumatized me like that. Disney does a lot of things that make you go, oh my god, but not quite to that degree. Grave of the Fireflies is very emotional. It's about two kids just trying to survive World War II in Japan. And they don't do it so well. It's again, like, it's such a well-made film, I feel. It's so good. It's the Schindler's List of Ghibli films. Like, it is... Oh, it's hard to watch in the kind of, like, oh, damn, I'm impressed, like, I'm blown away sort of way. I don't know that I can really count it amongst my favorites. You know what I mean? I'll give it an A. It deserves the A. It does. Come on. It does. It was a bold choice. Ghibli had made 2 films, big fantasy films. And then they went, alright, time to do starving children during World War II. Oh, bold. It was bold. That's true. Well, there are a couple others here. I don't think Ghibli have done a shorter film than The Cat Returns. The cat is the Baron, who is this really cool, suave, sophisticated cat. And he was in... It was Whisper of the Heart, right? Throwing myself off. Yeah, I think it was Whisper of the Heart he was in. And then he pops up in this, and there was this whole adventure. And it felt to me... it felt to me like the closest thing Ghibli has done to The Princess Bride. For a few reasons. It is this kind of sweeping fantasy adventure. It's got a very swashbuckling kind of style to it. In the English dub that Disney did, Carrie Elwes, who played Wesley in The Princess Bride, did voice the cat, so that helped. But it did feel very similar. The swashbuckling kind of comedic style it had, I thought that was really fun. It is quite a short film. It is quite a strange film, but I really love it. It's very unique, in as much as it just feels like something like The Princess Bride. But I've never seen something encapsulate that style in animated form. It seemed like it couldn't, but there you go. I think that's another A. We're filling up on A's a bit, but I do love Ghibli. I love me some Ghibli. Ponyo! Ponyo is again an adorable, colourful film. Very, very fun animated style. It is weird. It's weird as hell. Yeah. It is maybe one of those more modern ones that is like love or hate for a lot of people. Not so much for me. For me, I'd put it down the kind of middle. I'd give it a B. Yeah. I do enjoy it. I do think it's weird. Even as I'm watching it, I'm kind of going, this is overly quirky. But it's also kind of, it's too endearing not to get on board with. Also, Liam Neeson plays Ponyo's dad in that. In the English Disney dub again. I've got to say, like, that really helps. That's a huge thing that Disney did that. I don't know about you guys, but when I watched these back, I used the Disney dub for almost all of them instead of, like, subtitles or anything because it was so well done. And it was so much fun seeing who'd pop up because they got some A-list actors in to do those voiceovers. Yeah, I'm fine with Ponyo. Ariadne, again... It got more like this. After about Spirited Away, Ghibli got more like this. They kind of were doing a lot of just taking these books, adapting them, not getting overly exciting with the animated style, and just kind of adapting them. It felt like quite straightforward, and a lot of them ended up like quite down the middle for me. There's not a lot of them that I really love. Ariadne, I thought was good. You know, it did a lot of things very well. The animation's nice. It was just one of those ones that I kind of lumped in there and didn't get overly excited about, honestly, you know? So it's kind of... It's probably another B. Yeah. It's another one that if you told me you were going to sit down and watch it, I'd go, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Secret World of Ariadne. Yes! And I'd watch it with you, but I'd kind of be sitting there like, yeah, good time. If you put me in front of like The Cat Returns or like Whisper of the Heart or Castle in the Sky, I'd be going like, oh, fuck yeah! You know, it's a big difference. Howl's Moving Castle, again, it's similar in some ways. It's an interesting film. It's a weird film. Based on some weird stuff. A lot of strange stuff goes on in that, yeah. But it is very fun. Might be another B. It might be another B. It's another one that I think it is really good, but it wasn't like a huge personal favorite for me. I think Totoro and Kiki and I know this is going to surprise people who know Ghibli. I think this is probably about as unpopular opinion as it gets for me with Ghibli, because when I've read a couple of like the Ghibli rankings people have done online, and most people don't really seem to love Porco Rosso. Porco Rosso is a weird film. It's it's a film about Italian plane fighters and how one of them gets cursed and turned into a pig. And it sounds bad. You know, it sounds like not a great film. But, you know, I've watched it a couple times now because the first time I went in with kind of low expectations. It sounded like it would be a bit too weird for me. And I loved it. I thought it was so good. It's got the colourful, bright animation style to it. It's got some ridiculous sequences. The opening sequence where he just saves all these random, overexcited, tiny school children from these weird hijackers. It's so strange. And everything about the style, the story, it's quirky. It's funny. It's so much fun, and I assumed when I went back to watch it a second time, I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm not gonna still like it that much, and I did. It's kind of like a top three, like it's in the top three, I think, for me with Ghibli. Those three, yeah. I have so much fun with it. I mean, in the Disney dub they did as well, like Michael Keaton was voicing him, which really did a lot for it as well, I think. But it is an insanely good film. I don't know why so many people seem to rate it quite low when they rank Ghibli, but I get really excited about Porco Rosso. Weird film, super weird film. From Up on Poppy Hill's another one, kind of like Whisper of the Heart, where it's a fairly, it's a real world story. You know, it's nothing like major or fantasy. It's primarily like a kind of more romantic one, and at the time when I first watched it, I thought like, yeah, it's quite good, and it's kind of crept more and more into my heart the further I get away from it. It's a very fun film, and it is again quite quirky. The animation style's not too like super bright or colorful or anything. It's more realistic kind of, but I enjoyed it a lot. It's a very fun film. I might go as high as an A on that one as well. And there we go. A little bit tilted that list more towards the top end, but I mean, I think Ghibli is a fantastic company. I hope they get back on track. I'm going to watch Earwig and the Witch soon. I'm a little bit worried about that, but we'll see how it goes. Yep. But yeah, I really hope they get back on track soon, because not having made a film in 6 years, 7 years, is a long time for an animation studio to come back like that. But they are amazing, and I think they have inspired a lot of other smaller animation companies. If you ever get the chance to look up Cartoon Saloon, oh man, Song of the Sea, Wolf Walkers just came out last year on Apple TV. You can watch it. Great films, and those are very much inspired by the Ghibli style. It's an Irish animation studio actually, so definitely. Even if Ghibli doesn't really cut back to their former glory, there are other studios that have been inspired by them that are picking up the mantle, you know, which is very exciting. But yeah, that's all for this one. Pretty clearly, just stay away from Ocean Waves, which will be easy since almost all of these are on Netflix, but that one isn't. And go watch Totoro or Kiki or Porco Rosso if you get a chance on Netflix. I think all of them are still available there. Pretty much all of these are, and Ghibli's just got an incredible catalogue, you know? Up until, if you just stopped it at about Spirited Away and didn't go any further than that, their catalogue would be practically just everything is a hit. You know, it's incredible. Their work in the 80s and 90s is astounding. It's pretty much on the level of like Disney in the 90s, which is really saying something, because that's my favourite period Disney has ever done. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. That is that's a pretty good one. Another fairly short one today, but I mean, we can't get 150 Disney songs together every week to tier list. Let me know what you guys want to see tier listed next month. I have a feeling Christmas movies might be one that we'll do sometime in the next couple of weeks. But other Christmassy related ones, other just whatever ones, let me know. And thank you guys for tuning in. A couple of people were asking there. I will try and make a solid effort to be on Minecraft tomorrow. Play some more of the Winter Wonderland. And if you fancy 20 hours of content or so, go back and watch Dead Island for Friday, because that was a time. I'm mostly recovered. I'm okay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you for more of that tomorrow. And thank you. Suggest more Christmassy related content in general, not just tier lists. Just all kinds of Christmas content down below. Because we're going to do a lot of Christmas content. Yeah. Games. Anything. Reviews. Whatever. Let me know, and I'll see you guys later.